let's begin with the finals of the Potterhead quiz. I hope all of you are already Potterheads, but we just want to know who is the bigger Potterhead of all of you. Let me tell you the rules. How the rules are going to work is we're going to have 2 rounds, okay? We have 8 participants. So what we'll be doing is we'll be having 8 questions clockwise and 8 questions anti-clockwise. So by clockwise and anti-clockwise, what I mean is the first question will be to team number 1. And then we will move clockwise. So like in a clock, we go from 1 to 2 to 3. Okay, so that's how we'll be rolling. So say team 1 does not get the answer, then the next opportunity to answer will go to team number 2, and so on. And each question is worth 10 points. There are no negatives. So you can feel free to take any guesses, come up with any funny story or anything you want to share about Harry Potter. Everything is allowed. You can joke, you can do whatever you want, okay? And the first 8 questions will be like that. The next 8 questions will go exactly the opposite way. So we'll start with 8 and we'll go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? Chalo, let's start. So round 1 is clockwise. We'll start with team number 1. So team 1, are you ready, Arnavi?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So the first question of the Harry Potter quiz is on your screen now. So since we're talking about firsts, I wanted to ask a question about firsts, okay? So if you see the movies, in the movies, Oculus Reparo is the first ever spell that is used by anyone on screen. And Hermione uses it to repair Harry's glasses, okay? However, this spell is not mentioned in the books. The first spell that someone does in the books is also by Hermione. So you just need to tell me which spell am I talking about.
So Wingardium Leviosa.
Okay, that's a very good guess. But if you remember, it was later in the sequence. Okay, so we'll move to team number 2. Abir, what is your guess? Are you speaking, Abir?
Yeah, I don't.
Take a guess. You know so many spells. Just say out anyone. It might be correct.
I think it was. I don't really.
Okay, cool. No issues. We'll
Incendio.
move to team number 3.
Incendio.
Okay, not Incendio. Nice guess. Yes, Apurva.
Obliviate.
Okay, not Obliviate. We're seeing all these spells come out now. Hitvi, what's your guess?
Just Reparo.
Oh, no, not really. Team number 5.
Bluebell Flames.
Okay, not really. Okay. Yes, Navya Variku. Now it's your turn. I'll call you Navya 1 and Navya 2, okay? Navya Variku is Navya 2 and Navya Gupta is Navya 1. Okay, if that works. Okay.
Sir, I have not thought of it yet. So.
Okay, just think of a spell.
Well, sir, I think Wingardium Leviosa.
Okay, if that was correct, I would have already given points. Never mind. We'll move to team number 7. Pragya, what's your guess?
Oculus Reparo.
Okay, not really. Heyman.
Sir, it is Alohomora.
And what does that spell do?
It unlocks doors.
Yes, so you have unlocked the doors of your brain correctly. This is indeed Alohomora. See, so that was one of the most famous spells that starts the books. And Heyman gets 10 points.
So I remembered in the first book, it was like they were in trouble from Filch, so they were escaping.
Correct. Yeah.
And Hermione grabs Harry's wand and takes this spell.
Yeah. So that was right. So Heyman remembers it very nicely and he gets 10 points. The next question, because team 8 got it right, will be to Viraj. So Viraj, you're ready for your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here's Viraj's question. Let's go to the next question. So this is a series of tests. So you know Harry Potter is studies in Hogwarts. Hogwarts has a lot of tests because it's a school. So this series of tests is designed to know whether whoever is giving the test, if he can exist nicely inside the magical world, okay? And unlike the other main exams that you see in Harry Potter, this exam is only written. So you can, there's no practicals involved. And it can be taken by muggles as well. Although the visiting examination authority understands that it's very tough for a muggle to pass this, so they don't need to worry about it. So which test is this? That is named after an Australian animal.
So can I say the answer?
Okay, Viraj?
Owls.
I knew someone would guess that. I specifically said an Australian animal. So let's move to team number 1. Arnavi.
The Nuets.
Okay, so now that the main 2 guesses are gone, let's see what Abir has to say.
Those were the only 2 I was thinking of. Kangaroo.
Okay, that's a good guess. We'll move to team number 3 though, because that is not right. Apurva.
No guess.
Okay, just name an Australian animal. Any animal rather.
I don't actually know from which country they actually are.
Okay, cool. No issues. We'll move to Hetvi.
I think it's owls.
Okay, if owls was correct, Viraj would have already got points. Okay, team number 5, the first of Navya's. I could not hear you, Navya.
Koala.
Oh, koala is another very good guess. So we are running out of animals in Australia now. Navya too, what is your guess?
The newts and owls are the only 2 guesses I had.
Okay. So any guess that you're taking or should we pass? Okay, so Pragya. Okay, looks like it's going the whole way. Heyman.
I don't know this one.
Okay. So let me tell you the answer. I don't think anyone got this. This is another test that maybe got too tough for you because we all are muggles again. So let's see the answer. This is something called a wombat or the Wizard's Ordinary Magic and Basic Aptitude Test. So, this test is made for muggles. So if someone wants to join the wizarding world, they'll just give the person this test and he'll fail and then he'll not be allowed to join. That is the whole point of this test. So let's move to the next question. And now this was supposed to be a question to Viraj, but no one answered it. So we'll move ahead to team number 1, okay? So Arnavi gets the question again. Okay, so these are 2 famous bands, okay? Now both these bands are called Blank and the Blank. So their names are Blank and the Blank. So name both these bands where the blanks will be 2 different people. Okay.
So what is FITB?
It's fill in the blanks. I'm sorry for using that. I hope you can understand. Okay. So you need to fill in so basically the 2 bands are called, say it's called Piyush and the Kedias and Arnavi and the Bhattacharyas. Okay. That kind of a name. So look at the 2 bands. I've given you the photo of the 2 bands. Look at the photos very carefully. Okay, on the top one is one band, on the bottom photo is another band.
The Weird Sisters.
Okay, that is one band. What is the other band?
So I don't know.
Okay. Look at the photos carefully. What the people are doing, or how they look like. All of that helps. Okay, so we'll move to Abir.
The first one is called Draco and the Malfoys, and the second one is called Harry and the Potters.
And why do you say so?
I just think they both look like the characters in the movies.
Right. So one is wearing a Gryffindor ensemble, and the other is wearing a Slytherin dress. So this is indeed Harry and Draco. So both of them are rock bands. One is called the Harry and the Potters. The other is called Draco and the Malfoys. So nice answer, Abir. I'll be giving you 10 points for this. And the next question will be to Apurva. So see, focus on the question. It's very easy. Just you need to focus on the right thing. So this should be easy. It says that this is something whose name was changed in the USA because if you told this story to American children, they would not understand that this is a magical object. Okay, and you can find this object in multiple words. Like there is a series called the Full Metal Alchemist series. There's a series of books called the Discworld series and Bacano. So these are places where you can also find this object in. Yes, Apurva, what's your answer?
I think. Okay, I'm not sure.
Okay,
I think the first Philosopher's Stone was turned into Sorcerer's Stone. I just remember this.
Yeah, so what's the object?
I think the stone itself.
Correct. This is the Philosopher's Stone. So Philosopher's Stone is very popular in Europe, okay? Almost all countries say that it was an actual object. but Americans don't know that a philosopher is also someone who does magic, which is why they had to change it to sorcerers in the American version of the book. But that is perfectly right. So Apurva gets 10 points. And we move to team number 4 for their question. Okay. So team 4, I hope you're ready. So, I'm talking about a spell called Mosmord, okay? So this spell, it comes from two French words, which is mort and mordre. So mort means death and mordre means bite. Now to cast the spell, what you need to do is just point your wands upward and speak the incantation. And you have to make an 8, okay? So draw an 8 basically with your wand, and then a green light comes out. So you just need to tell me, whoever does this spell, whoever performs this spell, why does he do so, or what happens on performing the spell? It's a visual thing.
He uses the spell to kill someone.
Okay, that's a very nice guess because mort means death, but the answer is somewhat related. So, but not correct. So we'll move to team number 5.
He uses it to conjure the dark mark.
So if you draw an 8 and there's a green light coming, you can, if you remember the Quidditch World Cup where it first happened, this is actually the dark mark. So the Death Eaters use this, okay, to prove their loyalty. So that is correct. And Navya 1 gets 5 points. So very nice answer, Navya. And we'll move to team number 6 for their question. So Navya 2, get ready. Okay, so the next question is on your screen now. So this is an object, again, that's very very popular in Harry Potter. So it is so like when wizards die, their wands are also buried with them, right? This object is also buried with them. However, the one that is present in Hogwarts, no person, but to the entire school, and a lot of headmasters of Hogwarts have used it in that object. And now, say any headmaster of Harry Potter of Hogwarts, he can use that and get to gain the knowledge that the previous headmasters used to have. So what object is this that you have seen very prominently in the story? So think about it. It is somewhere every headmaster and headmistress stores their life's experience, okay? And it is supposed to be buried with everyone, but the Hogwarts one is used by anyone who works in the school. If it helps, the answer is one word that is made up of 2 words, okay? And one of these is something that we use every day. The other is something that is used in the kitchen every day.
Sir, my guess is that the silver bowl which was kept in Dumbledore's room, and it was the place where all the memories were kept, but I don't exactly know its name.
Okay.
Sir, I know the name.
So let's move to team number 7. Let's see what team number 7 has to say.
It's a pensieve.
Correct. It's a pensieve, but Navya was almost correct with the answer. So what we'll do is we'll give Navya 5 points and we'll give the full 10 points to Pragya, okay? Because Navya just forgot the name, but she got the story correct, and we give points to stories. So Navya gets 5 points and Pragya gets the full 10 points. The next question will be to Heyman. So this is
Yes,
the
sir.
pensieve at Hogwarts. It's
Yes.
supposed to be individual, but then at Hogwarts, all headmasters use it. Okay. So Heyman, it's your question now. Let's go to the question. So a hat stall, the word hat stall is referred to any student who when you sort, it takes more than 5 minutes. Why does it take 5 minutes? Is because the sorting hat is not sure as to which house to put the student in, because they have multiple characteristics, you know. So there are many people who have been very, very close to 5 minutes, like Hermione, Gilderoy Lockhart, Neville, and Harry himself. So right, when Harry was confused, the hat was confused whether to put him in Slytherin or in Gryffindor, but it took him less than 5 minutes. However, there are only 2 people who are purely hat stalls. I mean, they took more than 5 minutes to get sorted. So one was Peter Pettigrew. So you just need to tell me who was the other person where the sorting hat got confused whether to put this person in Gryffindor or in Ravenclaw, just like
Sir,
the case of Hermione.
I think Luna Lovegood.
Oh, that's a very nice answer. But if you remember the story, Luna is directly taken into the other into Ravenclaw. So Viraj, what's your answer?
Sir, Lily Potter?
Okay, no, not really. Lily Potter was in Gryffindor. Okay, team 1.
Sir, Minerva McGonagall.
And why do you say so? So if you think about Hermione and you think at the similarities with any other person, This is indeed Minerva McGonagall. So even Professor McGonagall was supposed to like divide it between Ravenclaw and Gryffindor, but ultimately went to Gryffindor. So very well done, Arnavi. You get 10 points. And we'll move to team number 2 for their question. Okay. So let's see what's the question, which is the last question of this round. We'll go anti-clockwise after this. It's a simple question, huh?
Okay.
Gryffindor is ruby, Ravenclaw is sapphire, Slytherin is emeralds, and Hufflepuff is diamond. So you need to tell me what crucial feature of these houses can you get to know by looking at these gems. So each house has an associated gemstone, and it represents a very crucial feature of that house. If you want to know something about that house, you use these gems. Okay, Abir, I need an answer.
I don't really know.
Okay, no issues. This is simple actually. So we'll move to team number 3.
Actually,
Apurva?
can you just explain the question? I didn't really understand the question.
So basically, there's this one gemstone that is associated with every house. Okay.
Okay.
And if you want to know something about that house, you'll have to use these gemstones. So what exactly do so say if I want to know where you live, I'll use your Aadhaar card. Okay. So if you want to know something about these houses, you'll have to use this gemstones. So what exactly? What does rubies tell you about Gryffindor? Is essentially what I'm asking.
Their states of matter.
Okay, again, good guess, but not correct. So we'll move to team number 4. What's your answer, Apurva?
Yes, sir. Ruby shines in a way and it catches our eye and it represents bravery.
Okay. So you're saying the house qualities, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a good guess, but we have animals for that. Okay, Navya 1, what's your answer?
The house points and the color.
So do you want to know your points? You're getting 10 points for this. These are the stones. This is exactly the halfway point. And now it's time to know your points as well. So let's see how many points each one of you has got. Harsh?
Okay, so after round 1, Navya is leading with 15 points, Navya Gupta. Then Pragya Pai is at 10 points, Navya Variko is at 5, Apurva is at 10, Abir is at 10, Arnavi is at 10, Heman is at 10. Viraj and Hetvi, you guys still need to open your accounts.
Okay, so there's a lot of close competition. No one is running away with the quiz yet. There are still 8 questions to go. And let's see how it goes. So we start with team number 9. Viraj, has your chance to come back into the competition by answering this question. Okay, so your question is on screen now. So there's a spell in Harry Potter which is called the flame freezing charm. Okay, so what it does is if you're standing on a fire, it will make you feel as if the fire is not burning you, it's tickling you, and you'll feel funny and you'll laugh. Okay, that's the point of the spell. So Wendelin the Weird was a witch who liked this spell very much, and because of this, Wendelin was featured in both the Chocolate Frog cards and Bathilda Bagshot's History of Magic book. So you can find her in both of these places. Now, this particular charm, in the olden days, I mean, a few centuries back, it was used by people who knew magic to survive something. So can you tell me what exactly did people survive? It used to take, I can tell you this, that it took place in a place called Salem in USA. And then something used to happen which people needed to survive.
So where in USA?
It's a place called Salem, Salem, Salem. So there something bad took place, but people who knew magic survived using this charm. So what exactly? Viraj, what is your answer?
Sir, was there a big forest fire or something?
Oh, good guess. But we'll move to team number 8. That is not exactly right.
Sir, I know the answer. It is that muggles used to, in the olden times, were very cruel to the witches and the wizards. So they used, whenever they found out this person was a wizard or a witch, they used to burn him or her, and he survived using this charm. The Wendelin the Weird survived more than 50 times in various disguises.
Okay. So, in the olden times, people were very scared.
Yes, sir.
And if there was any woman who did something weird, they used to be taken to the stake and burned. But they
Yes,
used to,
sir.
the actual witches used to survive using this.
Sir, Wendelin the Weird was survived this in different disguises 50 times. More than 50
Correct.
times.
So, Viraj, the answer was literally there in the question. You just needed to get it correct. So this is the historical witch burning that used to take place. So, you know, in Salem, what happened was that they actually used to pick up very random, any woman who is doing anything, they used to pick them, do a trial, and they would sentence that, okay, this woman is a witch, and they would burn those women. Okay, so it's a very horrific incident that used to take place. But according to J.K. Rowling, this spell helped the actual witches survive this. Okay, so Heyman gets 10 points, and we'll move to team number 7. Okay, so here is your question. Okay, so the Harry Potter series, you know, it's very popular. Everyone around the world likes to read Harry Potter. So, which is why it has been translated into 68 languages, you know, and it has been translated to many Indian languages as well, like Gujarati, even Marathi. Okay, and you can, and globally. So, in most of these translations, the name Tom Marvolo Riddle was changed a bit. So, say in Serbian, Marvolo became Marvol Demus. In Bulgarian, Marvolo became Marsvoluko. In her Hebrew, it became Vandrolo, and in Italian, it became Orvolosan. So you just need to tell me, why was this done?
It is because these letters have to be rearranged to form the phrase Voldemort, which means to flee from death.
Pragya, I'm very sorry. I'll give you 5 points, but I was not looking for Voldemort and the meaning. It's basically that if you have read the books, what happens is Tom Marvolo Riddle goes into an anagram and comes out as I am Voldemort. So in different languages, I am Voldemort sounds different, which is why they need to change the letters. Okay, so say in French, the French for I am Voldemort is Je suis Voldemort. So what they did was they rearranged Je suis Voldemort and made his name as Tom Elvis Jesador. Okay, so that is how you make sure that it still means the same in that language. So Navya gave me the exact answer. I'll give Navya 10 points, and Pragya was very, very close because Voldemort does mean flying away from death. So we'll give Pragya 5 points, okay, for establishing the concept. So this is exactly what I was looking for. So nice answer, Navya. We'll move to team number 4. Hetvi, it's your question. So the question is on your screen now. So the annual International Wizard Gardening Competition, right? It's something that takes place in the books. So it also has a unique class that's called the contorting cereals class, where you basically change the shape of cereals. Okay, now this is a particular competition that can be seen by muggles, and because muggles see it and it looks very weird, so they start a lot of speculation as to what these objects are actually. Okay, but when the non-wizarding world saw it, they thought that these entities are something else. Now we know it in the real world, and there it is said that some extraterrestrial people have made those objects. So what objects am I talking about? What things am I talking about that are created due to the contorting cereals class? So even we can see it in the real world, but people say that these are made by extraterrestrial beings and not by wizards.
Crop
Look at the fact
circles.
that it's a gardening competition and they are contorting cereals.
Crop circles.
Have you seen them? And who do you think they make? Are those
In
the work of
pictures.
aliens or wizards?
Aliens, yes.
Okay, I don't think they are aliens. There's sometimes, you know, what happens is crop circles are made by farmers themselves so that they can get popular and, you know, their land can be sold for much higher prices. But these is indeed crop circles. So they're famous in a lot of places in Latin America. Okay. So this is crop circles. Hetvi gets 10 points. So J.K. Rowling says that this gardening competition causes crop circles, but it's actually not so. So let's move to the next question for Apurva.
Yes.
Again, this should be easy. So 1492 Pictures is an American film production company. It produces it. So the first 3 movies of the Harry Potter series were made by this company. And in the Harry Potter world, the year 1492 is important because that is the year where Sir Nearly Headless Nick died. You must have seen his ghost in Hogwarts. However, the reason why this name is given is because another very, very famous real life event took place in the same year. It is not connected to magic at all, but there is a person involved with the first 2 Harry Potter movies who can be connected to this event, which is why 1492 Pictures is the company that produces it. So you just need to tell me what happened in 1492.
Sir, I somewhat remember from, like, I was studying today, and
Okay.
I somewhat remember about Columbus, Christopher Columbus.
Okay, so what exactly happened in 1492?
I remember that he had set from Spain and he had discovered, he went for a journey.
Yeah, and what did he do? Like, where did the journey end?
He thought he had ended somewhere in China.
Yeah, but what was
And-
the actual place?
He had ended in Cuba actually.
Okay, cool. This is I'll be giving points for this. So what happened is, if you know who is the director of the first two Harry Potter movies, do you know?
No.
Okay, so the director of the first two Harry Potter movies was someone called Chris Columbus. So he thought that if my name is Chris Columbus, why not make my movie company as 1492 Pictures? Because that was the year when Christopher Columbus landed in America, or what he thought was America. So that is perfectly right. And Apurva gets 10 points. And we'll be moving to team number 2 for that question. So let's see what's your question. So this is a new modern day solution that is you can find in the Wizarding World. Now, initially people used other methods, but this method was suggested by a person called Ottoline Gamble, who was the Minister for Magic in 1827. Okay, so to do this, to whatever this object is, to get this object in 1830, there was a huge operation taken place where people used 167 memory charms as well as the biggest ever concealment charms. A concealment charm is where you hide an object, right? So it was performed in Britain to get this object to Hogwarts. And many pure blood families, they opposed it, that we don't want to use this thing because using this is very demeaning and it is a very insanitary thing. Okay, it's not clean and it's unsafe, and they opposed it. So what is this entity that again you might have seen in all these books very, very prominently?
I think it's the basilisk.
Okay, so that's a very good question. That's a very good guess, but basilisk is not used by pure blood families that much. So we'll move to team number 1.
Is it Muggle technology?
I mean, do you want to go something specific? I'm looking for something very, very specific that was brought to Hogwarts in 1830. Okay,
Mm,
we'll move to Viraj then. Viraj, any guess? So look at the fact that it was a very large scale operation. It is the biggest ever thing that has been concealed by a charm, so that no one can see it. And 167 memory charms were used. Viraj,
So I think I don't know.
take a guess. Take a guess.
Dementors?
Oh, okay, that's a good guess. But again, pure blood families don't really use Dementors that much. So we'll move to team number 8.
So I think that in Hogsmeade, the Hogsworth engine had appeared
What entity am I talking
in
about?
Hogsmeade.
What is this object that
So
I'm talking about?
the engine, the Scarlet steam engine, I think.
I need something larger. Okay, so I'll pass to team number 7.
The use of portkeys.
Okay, yeah, the port keys is a very good guess, but that is also not correct. But the answer is somewhat related. So we'll move to team number 6.
Sir, my guess is that the train which takes us to Hogwarts, it is actually a steam train or a train which uses coal. So it is basically a Muggle technology because wizards would use spells to go from one place to another, or the place which where is the fire and you can go from one place to another.
And do
They
you know?
wouldn't.
So do you know the name of the train?
So the train is used to go from. It takes students to Hogwarts.
Okay, cool. I'll give points there. This is the Hogwarts Express, more specifically. So people did not go by train. Then this guy suggested that you should go by train, and it is such a huge train that they used a big charm to take it there. Okay, so they had to conceal it and they had to erase the memory of whoever was involved. Okay, so team number 5 has your question. So this word enter. This is a word that is found in the English language. It comes from the Middle French word for rascal. So in the old age in France, they used to call who were rascals this. Okay, it refers to anyone who keeps roaming around looking for something to do. Okay, so you might hear many news reports that someone is breaking into cars or stealing cars, etc. Okay, so now these kind of people, they do not have a very specific victim. They do not plan ki we will go and we will rob these people. What they do is they just keep wandering everywhere in the dark night, and they look for anything that they can do, any bad thing that they can do. So what word is this that is also associated with something in the Harry Potter world?
Sir, is it marauder? Maraud.
So what do you use if you want to go around looking for anything mischief to be done?
Sir,
So you use,
sir,
you
sir,
use
sir, sir,
marauders. Yes, Viraj, what
the
do you use?
marauders map.
Perfect. So these are marauders. So that's how the word comes into English, and which is why the map is called the Marauders map, which was made by Mooney, Picked, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. So perfect answer there, Navya. Team 5 gets 10 points. and we will move to team 4 for the next question. But before that, we have 2 questions left. Let's look at the scores.
Hello.
So Harsh.
Yes. So we have Navya Gupta leading with 35 points. There is and then Apurva and Heman are at 20 points each in the second position. We have Navya Variko and Pragya Rai at 15 points, and Hetvi, Abir, Arnavi at 10 each.
Okay, let's go to team 4 for their question. Okay, Hetvi, get ready. Now your question, the penultimate question of this quiz is coming up. So this is something in the real world, okay? So when Shinzo Abe, who was Japan's prime minister, he visited a particular temple called the Yasukuni Shrine in Tokyo in 2013. So what happened was there was a Chinese ambassador who used to live in London. Now he wrote to the newspaper that if militarism is like the haunting X of Japan, the Yasukuni Shrine in Tokyo is a kind of Y. Basically, it's saying that if militarism is something that Japan does, if Japan attacks people, then it's like X. And if you consider that, then the Yasukuni Shrine is the place which represents the darkest parts of Japan's soul. Okay, so I need X. X is a person's name, and Y is an object, is a kind of object that holds the darkest parts of that person's soul. So X is a person and Y is an object. So 5 and 5 points. So Hetvi, what's your answer? So think about it. If something bad is the actual representation of Japan, this particular shrine is where you store the darkest parts of that soul. So if you've known Harry Potter, this should be very easy for you. Okay, Hetvi, I need an answer now.
Ritual offering.
Okay, not really. We'll move to team number 3. Apurva?
Yes, sir. I think the Y is Dementors.
Okay, and then which person will be X?
I don't know.
Okay. Abir?
Yes, so I remember my mom was telling me about this, that someone said something about Harry Potter. So X is Voldemort and Y is Horcrux.
So Voldemort stores the darkest parts of his soul in the
Horcruxes.
Exactly. And so basically this ambassador said that if militarism is like Voldemort, then this shrine is a Horcrux where the darkest parts can be seen. So this is Voldemort and Horcrux. Perfect answer, Abir. You get full 10 points. And the last question of the quiz.
Sir, I remember reading something that somewhere near the shrines, they're trying to invoke Lord Voldemort or something like that.
Okay, that might be possible. A lot of people will probably in a few years, people will think that Harry Potter was real and he was a real god. Okay, that's possible. Anything can happen. Okay, so thanks guys for joining. But let's move to the last question of the quiz, which will be a question to team number 1. And let's see what the question is. So in a 2005 interview, J.K. Rowling stated that it is not a coincidence that this person was first defeated in 1945. Basically, she says that this person is associated with Adolf Hitler. Okay, basically the wizard version of Adolf Hitler. And the day of his duel is the exact same day where Nazi Germany fell down. And he also adopted an ancient symbol as its sigil, just like the Nazis took the swastika and made it their symbol. So who is this person that I'm talking about? Okay, with an alliterative name. Alliterative as in he's like Bruce Banner. Okay, both the first name and the second name start with the same letter. So this is a person who is like Adolf Hitler, who was defeated in 1945. Okay, Arnavi, what's your guess?
Sir, can I just have some more time thinking?
Okay, Arnavi, if you don't have a guess, I'll have to pass now.
Sir, just
Okay, so Viraj, what is your guess?
Sir, my guess is Gellert Grindelwald, the duel between Dumbledore and Grindelwald.
So if you know, this is the part where Newt Scamander comes in. And if you remember, Gellert Grindelwald was defeated by Voldemort in 1945. So this is Gellert Grindelwald, who was the villain in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Part 2. So very well done, Viraj. You get 10 points. And that is the end of the quiz, hopefully. Let's look at the final scores now.
Great, guys. So thank you so much, everyone, for speaking their heart out. Let's quickly do the scoring. Hetvi, Arnavi, and Viraj, you guys are at 10 points. So congratulations for being here amongst the top 10 in the Harry Potter quiz called the Potterhead. We have a tie on the third place between Navya and Pragya at 15 points. There is a tie in the second position between Abir, Apurva, and Heman at 20 points. Okay. But we have a clear-cut winner, Navya Gupta, with 35 points. So Navya, congratulations.
Okay, guys. So happy holidays and enjoy your days. Happy New Year.
Merry
Okay.
belated Christmas and Happy
And
New
do
Year.
explore the playbook. There's a lot of things to do. We hope we can meet again. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Happy holidays. Have a
Bye.
nice year ahead.